And we're back. Okay, so for those watching this on YouTube and are confused as to what exactly is going on, we're doing two back-to-back streams. The previous one was the second Jersey Devil stream, and now we're doing another Backloggery stream. For those still in chat, welcome back. I hope you got like some water and went to the bathroom or whatever you need to do. So yes, we're now in the Backloggery section of this, and we're going to continue until about 5 PM EST, which is when the new Resident Evil showcase is going to start. Hello LQ PoFam, welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy your stay. We are going to just do some Backloggery cataloging. If you've never been to one of these, we literally put my games collection into Backloggery and then discuss it in length. Because I'm apparently just able to do that very naturally. Yes, we're also going to be taking a look at that new Resident Evil live stream that's going to be happening later today. I've never done a live reaction to something like that, so that's going to be a first for me. But hey, it should be fun. Resident Evil is near and dear to me, and being able to react to it should be a cool thing to do. But anyway, so the last thing we added to this Backloggery list right here was, hey, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. I'm surprised at the amount of people we're getting on this stream now. Welcome everybody. Yeah, we just finished the Jersey Devil stream, that was pretty fun. But we're now in the more relaxed half of our afternoon. Chill, relaxing, we're gonna take it easy for a few. And, yes, so the last thing we added to this was the Prince of Persia collection. And now, let me make sure that I've got my pictures. Okay, I do have my pictures. And then we're gonna open the picture album, like so, and look for the... Well, yes, photos. I guess not those photos, though. That... No, not the camera roll. Photos. What? Okay, never mind. Just... What do you need me to do to make me... to show the photos on stream, game? I mean, not game, Streamlabs. Do I need to shut this down? Open it again? Like, have it over here on the side, and then... And then properties. No? Huh? Automatic. Okay, I'm gonna switch to bit by bit. And then I'm gonna do it automatic again. Then I'm gonna do that. The title must match. Is it... Why isn't it why is it not showing up? I'm confused. However, I'm doing pretty good. I usually like to stream at nighttime, but you know, today is different, so we're doing this at a different time. Okay, maybe there it is. Finally, jeez. Okay, so now I can go ahead and put this on the side first, and then open that up over here. Okay, there we go. That was unnecessarily complicated. But, sure. So, previously, this is the last thing we added to the collection. And now we're gonna move on with the next set of games, which is these. Puppeteer, Ratchet, and a bunch of Ratchet and Clank games. So, let's go ahead and start with, Puppeteer. So, since I see we have a couple of new people in chat today, this is Backloggery.com. It is a website where you can put in your games list and update your backlog. You got a bunch of games that you have, but you haven't started, or you want to track the progress of them on your own. There's no databases here. This is just you. This is entirely for funsies, and it is fun. Yeah. So you got your own games list over here. It's just a pretty neat website to use. I like doing stuff with it, and since we got so many games, I feel like I can make a lot of streams out of this until eventually we're done with it, and then I get more games, and then we do another stream. You know, it's a genius idea. Clearly. Okay, so Puppeteer. Puppeteer is... First of all, how do you spell that? Okay, it's got 2 P's and 2 E's. That's how you spell it. Puppeteer, like that. Let me make sure I'm actually typing it in here. This is a game that was made by... I want to say like... just like an in-house Sony studio? Well, let's find out real quick. Hold on. Puppeteer game. This was made by... yeah, Japan Studio, which is... they have a very... that's a very generic game, like, name for a developer. It's just... a studio in Japan. That's... very basic, but they have made some pretty banger games in their time. Okay, I did not realize they had this many. Hold on a second. wait. Wow. They've worked on a lot more stuff than I thought they would have. Okay, but Puppeteer, that should be like... we're looking at like 2010? Maybe 11? Oh, 2013. This game's newer than I thought it would be. But, wow, they've made a lot of stuff. They made Knack? Wait, they made... wait, this is the Knack people. I was not aware of this. Wait a minute, hold on. We gotta look at this list real quick. Because that's a lot of stuff. Now, now you see here, they have developed a lot of games alongside others. So it's not just like their own thing, but their very first game, Crime Crackers. It's a video game developed by Mediavision and published by Sony Entertainment and replaced in Japanese launch lineup. This was a launch title. Hold on. We're immediately jumping down the rabbit hole. Wait, let's see. Okay, but like, what is it? Is it a... it's a role-playing first-person shooter? Oh, you've got my attention. Wait, no, what the crap is this? I need to know. I need to see some gameplay. Crime Crackers. Wait, hold on. Let me shut this off real quick.
Hello, everybody. Welcome.
No, but I don't want a let's play. I just need a game sample. Though that's Crime Crackers 2. I need the first one. Yeah, it's like this. 7% So again, this was a launch title for the PlayStation in Japan. That's I did not know Japan Studios' history went back that far. They've been with the company since the very beginning. Is this Star Wars? No, it's not. Okay. It just looks like it. Alright. I can only read a little bit of this. Atoran versus Kiwi. Huh? My Japanese is like toddler just started learning Japanese level. That's my level of Japanese. I have no idea what most of this says. I can read the hiragana and the katakana and a little bit of the kanji. I don't know what it actually says. And also this kanji is like too pixelated for me to read properly anyways. Okay, so anyway, so that's a long ass intro. Alright. This looks Mega Man-ish. It's also kinda loud. Hold on, let me lower that a little bit. Okay, here's what I really care for. Let's see what the gameplay is like. It's a first-person RPG. Okay, there. Oh, it's like... this is like some Doom-looking thing, but like... well, not Doom. More like Wolfenstein. Wow. You know, interesting thing, Insomnia Games' first game, also like in 1994, maybe 1996, was Disruptor. Not Crash Bandicoot. I mean, not Spyro the Dragon. They did not start with Spyro. They became popular with Spyro, but they didn't start with Spyro. They started with Disruptor. And Disruptor is also a first-person shooter. So, like, that's something Japan Studio and Insomnia Games have in common. They both started with a first-person shooter, and this looks very primitive, as you would expect. But at the same time, it looks kind of cool. Like, I don't think the anime aesthetics blend very well together with the gameplay that we're looking at on screen, but hey, maybe something more interesting happens. Oh, let me skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, so here's some items you can get and stuff. That's fascinating. The music is freaking awesome. I love the music. This is jamming. God damn. Hey, hold on. Like a boss fight at the end though or anything? No? Okay, so you basically just go around collecting stuff and stuff. Yeah, the gameplay is very primitive, very basic. But the freaking soundtrack though, like god damn, look at that. I mean, listen to that. Now, is that thing gonna do anything or is it just gonna stand there? Okay, it's just gonna stand there. I see that there's 3 people down here, but only one of them is actually doing anything. Only this girl is moving. Can you switch characters? Do they shoot differently? I don't know. Well, I guess that's something to find out later. But hey, here's Japan Studio's very first game. That's cool. Unless they were called something else before that and they were making all this stuff. It's not unheard of. Alright, well, that's cool. Let's go back to our Japanese music now. So what else have they made? They made Jumping Flash. That's a relatively popular one. Philosoma, Hermie, Beyond the Beyond. And look, every single thing is for a PlayStation console. Yeah, they are 100% a PlayStation studio. That is some royalty. What's the last thing that they made? Okay, the Demon Souls remake. Fair enough. Patapon 2 remastered. Everybody's Golf. Oh, they worked on this one? Yeah, with From Software. Deresi. Or Deresine? I have no idea how to say that title, but I know what that is though. Let's see, The Last Guardian. Yeah, like I recognize a lot. No More Heroes, No Heroes Allowed. Oh wait, No Heroes Allowed, not No More Heroes. I was getting a little bit concerned there. But yeah, I kind of see like the kind of games they like to make. They made the Last Guard. Like I knew about these. They made the Fumito Ueda's games. Yeah, they've helped him with that. And it seems like they're good friends with From Software, because every time From Software makes a PlayStation exclusive, they're like right there helping them out. Oreshka Tainted Bloodlines. Japanese role-playing... Oh, Freedom Wars! I've got that game. Destiny of Spirits. Soul Sacrifice. Asia's Lost in the Rain. Huh. Oh, Tokyo Jungle, I know that one. Yeah, they've made a... Oh, they made that Bleach game. Man. They've done like everything. Holy crap. Alright. I'm gonna have to look at this list more thoroughly later. Because I was not aware of how much Japan Studio was involved. But then again, look, there's only a small handful of games that they've actually made by themselves, though. Pretty much everything is always with the help of somebody else, like White Knight Chronicles, another Bleach game. But I've heard of that game. I've never actually played it, but I've like that. The title is particularly interesting. So every time I see it, I remember it. Echochrome. Game with Game Yerosi. They will whip there's a Game Yerosi for PlayStation Portable and PlayStation 3? I was not aware of this. Wait, but that's Yerosi, not Yero. It's spelled differently. Maybe it's not the same thing. Or maybe that's a difference to I don't. Anyways. So yeah, Puppeteer, it's a cool, like it's a side scroller. And it's got a really cool aesthetic. There's just like what's the word? Like obviously because it's named Puppeteer, you play as a puppet. And everything is basically like a play. Like everything is like on a what's the name? On a theater. And like all the props and enemies and people and stuff are just like cutouts, and like nothing is really human in there, which is really cool. The voice acting is very well made. It's a very cool game. We're definitely gonna play that one day. But overall, it is on played. I did play like the first level just to get a feel for it, but for the most part, it is on played. So played first level. Okay. And we're not really gonna bother with the achievements. I should probably turn on my PS3. Well, I mean, that's fine. I don't really need to bother too much with the achievements here for the time being. I can update that later. It's not so urgent. Besides, in order to turn on my PS3, I have to do like a whole thing. So I don't really feel like doing that right now. So no rating we can give to that yet. But that's pretty cool. Let's see. Go ahead and drop that on. And let's see. The next game on the list is going to be, pull up the picture album. The Ratchet and Clank collection. Is it actually listed as collection? Yeah, it says collection. Okay, so this is Ratchet and Clank 1, 2, and 3. And I must admit that from what I've played, what do I mean? I've played all three of these games multiple times. I've played the entire trilogy on PS3 and PS2. I've played it in both in its original console and the new console, and on PS3 I mean. And I must admit, there's some inconsistencies with the PS3 version. Like I noticed some textures every once in a while were like messed up, and the frame rate would drop more often than it would on the original PS2. I mean, like, this game ran flawlessly on PS2. Like, there was never, ever any slowdown. But on PS3, like, when there was a lot of stuff going on screen, there was like a bunch of bolts flying at you, it would actually slow down a bit. So it's not the best made 3D remaster, not 3D, HD remaster. But I guess it's fine. I guess it is the original. It is the original games. It does look better overall. I just wish they'd done a little bit more polishing to it. Okay, but we're gonna go ahead and add it. Ratchet and Clank. Now the Ratchet and Clank series is kind of interesting because took me a minute to find the right one. The Ratchet and Clank series is interesting because out of all of Sony's like 3D platforming franchises that they've started, because they've started a lot of them, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Jak and Daxter, Sly Cooper, all of them. They've started a bunch of them. Only Ratchet and Clank has actually survived and is still relevant since its inception. Or at least a Sony exclusive and still relevant. Crash Bandicoot and Spyro are relevant again, but they went multi-platform, which is fine. I'm actually happy that they went multi-platform. I want as many people as possible to play those games. But you know, it is not thanks to Sony that they have been revived. Whereas Ratchet and Clank, yeah, Ratchet and Clank has been pumping out games since 2002. was Rift Apart is supposed to be coming out this year, and that's PS2, PS3, PS4. Yeah, that's 4 Sony generations that Ratchet and Clank has survived and is still relevant. And fair enough, he's had some low points. After the tools of after a crack in time, they did not make a whole lot of particularly good games for Ratchet. Like, All for One looks like a cash grab. Full Frontal Assault is just weird. And Into the Nexus, I haven't played it, but it's like the main criticism I hear for that game is that it's too short, which, yeah, I've heard that, like, as soon as you think the game's gonna really get started, it ends. Just weird. But Rift Apart seems to be building off of that. Seems to be building off of what Into the Nexus did. And then there was the whole Ratchet and Clank movie with the reboot of the first game. That was the thing. The main criticism I heard for that one is that instead of trying to split the fundings between a new game, between a movie and a game tie-in with the movie based on the game, they should have just made a new game. Because from what I recall, the Ratchet and Clank movie did not make a whole lot of cash. It made some money. It wasn't like bad. It was just, it would have been either a much better movie or a much better game if they had spent all of the resources on one or the other, making just one of them instead of trying to split it into both. So, that's on Sony on that one, but I guess we can look at the sales numbers real quick. PlayStation 2, where are you? There you are. Now these are games that I have streamed on this channel before. Not as a VTuber, but like before I was a VTuber. So I do definitely want to play them again when I have a bigger audience. When I like consistently get like a couple people in chat, because I would like to stream some of the games that I've streamed before. I would like to stream them again with people. Because the first time I streamed them, we only ever had like maybe 2 people in chat. And they were just like my regulars. So if we get more regulars, if we get more people that can actually participate and make the experience more engaging, more interesting, then for sure we can do something. Otherwise though, it's like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. That's fine. Completed. That is owned. I know I have the platinum trophy. I'm not gonna go count how many trophies that actually is. I just know I have it. 100%. Like 4 times. I have beaten this game 100% multiple times. I love this game. In fact, I would say that this is the Ratchet and Clank I've played the most. And a lot of that is part of that achievement, that trophy that requires you to get 1 million bolts. Which, listen, 1 million bolts in Ratchet and Clank 1? That's ridiculous. You would never need that many bolts. But there's a trophy that requires you to do that. So the way I did it is I would just replay the game like multiple times. Once I was done with it. And I got really good at going by it very fast. Maybe not like to the same level as an actual speedrunner would. But, I did pretty good at it. And is it a 5 out of 5? It's definitely at least a 4 out of 4. But is it a 5 out of 5? Yeah, honestly, I really do like this game. I like it quite a bit. So we're going to go ahead and add that. Now, the next game in the series is Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Now, this one was the first Ratchet and Clank game I ever owned. And it was the only Ratchet and Clank game I owned for quite a while. Basically, like, I didn't get it with my PS2, but I got it like soon after I got my PS2, like all the way back in like 2004. I want to say that's when I had my PS2, and I got this game like maybe a year later, and I would just play this like all the damn time. I wouldn't say I got like really good at it, but I just enjoyed it a lot. And there's a lot of replay value on Going Commando and just the general Ratchet and Clank series because it's just so fun. You know, like when a game is just fun, you like playing it, you enjoy it, you want to keep playing it some more. Even if there's nothing else to do, it's just the notion of the game being fun that keeps you coming back. And you know, it's I just dropped my ball cap. That's what I meant to say. You know, not every game is that fun, which is fine. I mean, only a couple of games can really achieve such levels of replayability, and this was one of them. So it's a near and dear game to me. I've played it almost as much as the first game. Again, I probably would have played it more times than the first game if we didn't count that freaking trophy that made me replay the first game like 5 times in a row. But beyond that, yes, I played this game a lot of times. And this one's also completed. And you know, this is when Ratchet and Clank started doing sexual innuendos on their subtitles. So for those of you who don't know, like pretty much, not all of them, but a good number of Ratchet and Clank games will have an innuendo as the subtitle for the game. And yeah, it started here, Going Commando, which means going naked. Well, at least I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And I will admit, I'm not good with all of the sexual innuendo subtitles. Apparently Rift Apart is also a sexual innuendo. I have no idea what it's referring to. Listen, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the most sexual person around, but at the same time, there's a limit to how much of your references I can understand. Anyways, this one's also platinumed. I have no idea what the thing is. And progress note, 100% is like times 2. Okay. I really gotta get more creative with this things down here. I feel like I should be doing more with them. Alright. Anyways, let me see. This one's definitely a 5 out of 5. This is also my favorite. It's not only the first Ratchet and Clank game I got, it's my favorite Ratchet and Clank game. There's just something about it. They improved so much from the first game that you know, it's not only a very good sequel, it's a very good game on its own. There's just a lot of things about it I really like. We'll see if Rift Apart changes my opinion on that. But this is a high order for Rift Apart to beat. So I'm not expecting it to really get up that high. Anyways, that's pretty much all I really have to say about that. I'm gonna add that, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and send out a little notification real quick because I forgot to do something. So let me shut down the browser so I don't like accidentally not jinx myself. Put myself in a risky situation. Okay, hold on. Alright. Okay. Alright, that's fine. I had to check on something real quick. That is okay. Let's go back to the Backloggery. And we're gonna put that up again. We have 3 viewers in chat. I hope you guys are enjoying. So again, this is more of a... This is definitely gonna be a relaxed, chill stream until Resident Evil starts. Then we'll switch over to that. That should be pretty fun, pretty entertaining. I'm very excited to see what they're gonna release on that, what they're gonna show on that. But let's go ahead and add the last game in the Ratchet and Clank collection trilogy, which is Up Your Arsenal. The sexual innuendo of this one is very obvious. I forgot to put the A. Arsenal. There we go. So I don't know why, but the British replace ass with arse, and there you go. That's all the information you need to know for that. I actually did not know about that, so I never quite understood the title of this game until, you know, I was made aware of that little quirk with the Brits. But I do remember though the first, you know, not the first game, Going Commando in PAL regions is called Lock and Loaded, which is, I mean, it's fine, I guess, but Going Commando just sounds a lot better. Yeah, I didn't get the pun at first, but eventually I got it, and I'm still trying to figure out what's the deal with Rift Apart. I have, again, it's maybe I shouldn't look it up though, because if it is something bad, I don't want to have that on stream. Working out. Up Your Arsenal is a lot of people's favorite Ratchet and Clank game. You know, they prefer this over Going Commando or the first game or whatever it may be. For me, I actually like it the least out of the first trilogy. I feel like they, you know, after revisiting it a couple of times, I feel like they pulled up the action on, you know, the enemy health bars and the amount of time you're shooting at things and like the things you're dodging and stuff. They pulled that up a bit too high. So that game, I feel like RBS is almost like a little bit too stressful. Sometimes it's more stressful than it is fun. And I don't know, it's just something about the first two games that I feel like is just the pacing and the level design and all of that is just chef's kiss. It's beautiful. Whereas Up Your Arsenal, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't think Up Your Arsenal is a bad game. It's just it lacks something that made me really like the first two games a lot better. But it is nonetheless a very fun game. And yeah, Resident Evil, we're gonna be checking out the. Again, I've mentioned this several times. Point it out again for everybody else dropping into chat. We are going to be looking at the live stream that Resident Evil is going to be doing later. Reacting live to it. See what the news are. I know it's got to do with Resident Evil Village, but there's also other things that are going to be announced, and I am excited to see what else they're going to be announcing. And this one I only 100%ed like twice maybe. Yeah, I did not bother with 100%ing Up Your Arsenal nearly as much as the first two games. And that's also in part because I was getting more and more games when I got this game. So like, as you keep getting more and more games, you have less time to replay the old games you really liked. So that's just a thing. I'm in the hospital now. Well, yeah, I actually just took a quick detour to read your message. So I hope everything with the vaccine goes fine. Hope you I will say this. From what I've heard, nobody has a you know, the people that get reactions to the vaccine are the people that have already had COVID. So there's a coworker of mine that has a daughter that lives in Savannah. You know, she works at a hospital, and she, her, and a coworker, they got the vaccine and they had a reaction. Everyone else at the hospital that also got the vaccine did not have a reaction. So if you haven't had COVID, you're good, or at least you should be. If you've had COVID, you should still get the vaccine just in case, but get ready to call off for the next couple days, because you might have a hard time. Otherwise, you know, everything should be a-okay, just fine. Anyways, Up Your Arsenal is probably like a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I don't like it quite. I still like it quite a lot, but not as much as the other ones. Let me go ahead and add that to the game collection. So there's a tiny chance it'll be an allergic reaction to any vaccine. Yeah, I can't recall if I've had any allergic reactions to any vaccines that I've gotten. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if I have. It's just been a minute. Yeah. Now, the other game that we had here, at least from what I recall, was Tools of Destruction. So, Tools of Destruction is the first PlayStation 3 Ratchet and Clank game, and it was like it kind of signaled a a change in focus for the Ratchet and Clank series, because as I've mentioned before, but I'll mention it again, Ratchet and Clank, the older games, felt a lot more like they were a lot more focused on like the capitalism aspects of Ratchet and Clank, like the business and making money, and like they really emphasize the fact that the characters and the universe is all just like an economy, and that everyone's trying to make money and everybody's trying to make a living. And there are plots about saving the galaxy and stuff, but there is a lot of that like space capitalism aesthetic, the AAA industry life, yes. Whereas from the future series with Tools of Destruction and that, they kind of ditched some of that in favor of a more Disney Pixar like story. Like there's a much more bigger focus on like Ratchet and Clank's past, their lore, things that even they didn't know about. The characters are a lot more whimsical and less. There's a lot less like assholes in the series, I guess is the way to put it. But like, they were fun assholes in the first few games. Then they became more like, again, like that. They feel a lot more like Disney Pixar movies turned into games than they do like the original Ratchet and Clank games, which is fine. I don't think they're bad. I just prefer the old style a little bit better. I feel like it's more direct. It's more straightforward. And that's why I'm sitting in the lounge waiting to see if anything nutty happens. Nothing ever has with me. Hopefully, it stays that way. Okay, let me get some more water. Alright. Let's see. So this one is not part of the collection. We're just going to delete that. And I feel like Ratchet and Clank can be kind of divided into those two what's the name, like time periods, eras for the franchise. Tools, is it Tools of Destruction or Tools for Destruction? Tools of Destruction, okay. Of Destruction, okay. So yeah, there's the first era where there was like space capitalism, and then there's the second era with the Disney Pixar stuff. And now I feel like we're going into something new. With the kind of started with the reboot on PS4, and now with Rift Apart, it feels like Ratchet and Clank might be going into a newish direction again, trying to combine a bit of what made the old games and the new games so special. We'll see. Anyways, one thing I want to mention, my mom just got her second vaccine and had a terrible day today. She recommends that everyone get their second dose right before a day off. Oh, well, that's good to know. And by terrible, I mean aches, pains, chills, stuff that makes you want to stay in bed all day. Yeah, I see. Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind for when I get my vaccine eventually. Okay. Anyway, this is on PS3. Annoying thing about Tools of Destruction is that they came out in that time period when Sony really wanted every single, like, well, not everyone, but like, they wanted a lot of developers to implement the PlayStation 3's move mechanics, to like motion control mechanics into like all of their games, because the Wii was doing it. It worked for the Wii. So like, hey, let's make sure that like, I guess the Wii is popular because it has motion controls. So let's make sure that we also advertise our motion controls. And no, they're not good. So there's this bits on this game where you have to like guide rockets or something, and you have to do that with the PlayStation 3's motion controls. You have to do that in Infamous 1. In Folklore, you have to pull the souls out of enemies by actually pulling the controller. Yeah, so a lot of games from like 2006 to 2009 on the PS3 have forced motion controls, and it's just like, nobody actually likes it. And I'm good they eventually realized that and then stopped doing that shit. Games after that time period have optional motion controls, as it damn well should be. But this is one of those games that unfortunately came out before that era. So that's why I actually couldn't play it after a while, because I had a USB like wired controller that you have to keep connected, and for some reason it just doesn't have the motion controls. So I couldn't play any games that actually require motion controls until I got another like bootleg PS3 controller that has motion controls. And I'm not sure how that's gonna work on the PS3 emulator, RPCS3. Does it detect that? Can you do that? Do you have to use the mouse? Oh no! Oh no! Let's hope that doesn't happen. But anyways, yeah. For Tools of Destruction, I have not played Tools of Destruction more than once. It is one of the few Ratchet and Clank games that I have not replayed. Actually, let's see. Okay, let me think back of every Ratchet and Clank game that I've played. I have played the original trilogy, Deadlocked, Size Matters, the Future trilogy, and that's it. And out of all of those, I have replayed the first 3 games, Deadlocked, and A Crack in Time. Only A Crack in Time, because I wanted to platinum it. Otherwise, I have not replayed Tools of Destruction, Quest for Booty, Size Matters, and all of the other Ratchet and Clank games. I haven't even played them in the first place. Well, I played it like a little bit, but I haven't actually finished them, so we'll have to do that at some point. But hey, anyways, now this one's beaten. I'm not gonna mark that as completed because I'm pretty sure I was still missing stuff when I finished this game. Pretty much every Ratchet and Clank game requires you to go through it multiple times in order to really complete it. So we're not gonna bother with that. And also, this game did not have trophies. They did not add them in after a while, like they did with Uncharted. So, yeah. By the way, I think the PlayStation 3 did not start with trophies. They added the trophy feature after, I want to say like 2008 or something, maybe 2009. So any games before that era either had to have trophies patched into it, or no trophies at all. And this is one of those games that had no trophies at all. So hey, that's a thing. Okay, let's see. And it was good. Yeah, it was good. Was it this good? I don't know if it was one of this. If it was that good or if it was just like good. I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the Jak and Daxter games, and I'm gonna give it a low score. And once we replay it, I will reevaluate if it should stay there or if it should be higher. Okay, exit in the hospital now later. Well, okay. Hope you had a good experience with the vaccine, and hope everything turns out all right. And if you make it back home while we're still streaming, and I'll see you here. Otherwise, yes. Okay, let's go ahead and add that. And let's see how our backloggery is doing now. Backlog. Okay, so yeah, we still have a higher percentage of unfinished games, but it went down a little bit. It's gonna go back up later, but hey, that's okay. Alright, so let's see. So there's Puppeteer, the Ratchet and Clank collection, we have all 3 of these games, and then Future. We currently have 29 games at it. And again, one of those is Condemned Criminal Origins. That's the only non-PS3 game we've added so far. I want to get through my physical collection on PS3 first, and then we can look at the digital games. And yeah, okay. So let's see. The next set of stuff on the picture album is going to be, well, what's you know, more Ratchet and Clank games, but also the Saboteur and Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. Okay, so start with Ratchet and Clank. Again, we might as well just keep going with Ratchet and Clank. I thought my background noises had died for a second. No. Okay, so had a game and a cracking time. Now, Quest for Booty is a download-only title in North America and probably in Japan as well. But in Europe, you can get a physical copy of Quest for Booty if you really want it. You know, this is back in the day when, you know, like, digital distribution was still like people were very skeptical about it. People weren't really sure if digital distribution was the future yet, and any attempts to put a game as only a digital title were usually met with a negative feedback. They were like, no, but like, I don't want to download my game. I don't have enough space in my PlayStation. You know, that's back when, you know, the consoles didn't really have that much space in the first place. Like, I think the first PlayStation 3 model had only like 60 gigabytes, which is not much. Like, God of War Ascension is like, it's like 30 something gigabytes. So that's more than half of your PlayStation 3's memory gone, if that's the model you're using. And there were some models that had even less than that, like 40 gigabytes and 20 gigabytes. So you would only be able to really put like save files in there and maybe like a couple of things, or some really small PlayStation Network games. But otherwise you would have to stick to this because you would not have enough space, or you would need to get an external hard drive for it. Then the later models got like 200 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes, you know, a much more substantial amount of gigabytes, which is what they really needed. But yeah, and now we have digital distribution is undeniably the future. When games get a physical release, that's a good bonus, but it's not the standard anymore. Which again, I've mentioned this before. It did take me a while to accept that, but I now accept it. Especially with the whole COVID thing going around. Like, you know, you don't really want to be touching things. And digital distribution just also makes it a lot easier for games to get published and games to get distributed to people across the world. So that's great. Clank future crack in time. Now, I believe the original subtitle for A Crack in Time was something much more inappropriate. In fact, let me Google that real quick. I know this game had a different title before. What was it? Hold on. Reception, references. Nah, maybe in the Ratchet and Clank wiki would find something. Or maybe in the trivia section. Notes and references, reception, production credits. The development. Okay, in the title of the game. Ah, yes! Here it is. The A Crack in Time was originally gonna be called Clock Blockers. Which, no. Remove the L from clock. And you see how that was gonna be a problem. But Sony themselves told them, okay, now, dude, please. Please. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think this level made it into the game. At least I don't recall anything looking like that. Maybe that's like a beta version of the first level. This is an RCF2 pre-production diorama created by Jason C. Anderson. Yeah, that is interesting. If you take anything into the cutting room floor and see what stuff was cut out from the original project, you'll find a bunch of things. Okay, well, whatever. We're gonna leave that there for now. Crack in Time. I think this was the first Ratchet and Clank game to also. No. Deadlocked was the first Ratchet and Clank game to introduce difficulty levels. But ever since Deadlock, they stopped using them, and then they started using them again on A Crack in Time. It's fine, I guess. It does what you would expect. It makes the enemies hit harder, and you don't hit as hard. And that's pretty much all it does. I feel like this made more sense for Deadlock, because Deadlock is like an arena game. You know, like Ratchet and Clank games usually have a very well-made like difficulty curve. They'll make sure that the games do get progressively harder and more, you know, you'll have to use more of your weapons and more of your upgrades as the game progresses. And they're usually pretty good about that. But I guess, I mean, I'm not against A Crack in Time having difficulty options. It's just when the difficulty options only really change the what's the name of it? Like they just inflate the health pools of the enemies and their damage output, and that's all it changes. I don't know. I feel like it's just it focuses too hard on one aspect of the game. And you know, the Ratchet and Clank games, besides combat, they also have platforming, they have puzzle solving, they have exploration. None of that changes with the difficulties. The only thing that changes is the combat, which again is fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. It's just whatever, you know. I'm starting to get a little bit ahead of myself here. Anyways, this one I did complete. Again, I mentioned I played multiple times for the sake of getting that platinum trophy, and I did. I don't have my PS3 on right now to check exactly how many trophies that is, but we'll update that later. Completed. And yeah, that's all I didn't need to talk about that one. I 100%ed it once. I think it's the newest Ratchet and Clank game I've played. I have not played any Ratchet and Clank game newer than this one. Again, through completion, or at least to finishing it. I've played a bit of All for One. I've played like the demo of Full Frontal Assault, and beyond that I haven't even touched the other ones. Not because I don't want to, it's just I haven't made time for it. Crack in Time is pretty good though. It's definitely like a 4 out of 5. I liked it better than Tools of Destruction. Not by like that much, but it is a fun game. It is a cool game. So we'll put that in there, and now we are done with the Ratchet and Clank games for now, because we still have to look at them at our digital collection later. What's the next game? I believe it was the Saboteur. Okay, the Saboteur. That is an interesting game. It was one of EA's attempts of you know, like copying the very popular open world game that was everywhere back in like the late 2000s to early 2010s. Heavily popularized by Grand Theft Auto Like Grand Theft Auto influence. Grand Theft Auto's influence is still being felt today. There's so many games that want to copy that, like open world, sandbox, sandbox mechanic. And the Saboteur is set in like... Okay, hold on. You play as an Irish person. I don't know if the game is actually set in Ireland, though. I don't think so. I think the game is set in probably like New York or something. Or maybe not. Where's the Saboteur set? Yeah, Saboteur game. Oh, World War II in German occupied France. Okay, so it's set in... You play as an Irishman in France. It's being occupied by Germans in World War II. Okay, I got that completely wrong. And by the way, this game, as you can see right here, is available on GOG. So I've got it right now on PS3, but we're gonna get the GOG version so we can hopefully play the game at 60 frames. Does it say if it has a fixed 60 frames per second? I mean, it probably does. Let's see. Game details, action, TPP. What's TPP? I'm not getting the recurring theme here. What is TPP? Well, we'll have to find out later. Anyways, this was made by Pandemic Studios. I believe they are the same devs behind Dead Space. Is it Dead Space? Oh, yeah, Destroy All Humans. Maybe not Dead Space. Or maybe it was Dead Space. Was it Dead Space? I think it was Dead Space. Whatever. Pandemic. It was the first ever open world Paris. You can climb the Eiffel Tower. Snipe from Notre Dame. So, you know, before Assassin's Creed Unity came out, EA did beat them to the punch. But it is a fun game. I've seen more gameplay than I've actually played. And it's one of those games that, like, the people who played it remember it fondly, but not that many people played it. Because I guess just EA did not do a good job at advertising it. But we'll give it a sword every one of these days. It is a cool game. Again, I'm gonna try to get the GOG version. There is no Steam version though. I see there's a PC Origin version, obviously, but yeah, no, there's no Steam version, which is fine. I'm okay with there not being a Steam version of the game. It's not like I needed that badly. It does deal with some more sexual themes and the violence, as you would expect from a World War II game made by EA. On that time period of all things, that time period where like every game wanted to be a gore fest. Alright, yeah, but this one's pretty much unfinished and unplayed. Looks promising. That's what I want to have for that. I think there's like a little bit of climbing in that game. Yeah, this was also back because, you know, when Assassin's Creed was also popularizing the idea of exploring the worlds more vertically by just giving your characters the ability to climb shit. So yeah, in this game there's a lot of like climbing and parkour that you can do, which is fun. I like that. I don't mind that one bit, but there's not much really I can say about this one. I do try to discuss every game that we had in here, but there's not too much I can say about the Saboteur because I haven't played it. I don't know much about its history, so we're just gonna go ahead and add that. And then the last game on that thing was Sengoku Basara Samurai Heroes. So the Sengoku Basara series is I know it's got a lot of games. There's multiple games in this series, and I don't know like any of them besides this one. I only got it because I played a demo of it on on PS3. And it was fun. I think this was one of my first Muso game experiences. Yes, it is a Muso game. And it's got like a bunch of characters, and you know, you beat a bunch of enemies and you feel like super powerful, and there's just a bunch of cool stuff that I really liked. But this was... I was aware that like this is kind of like how Dynasty Warriors plays, but I didn't really know much about the Muso series. Not series, genre. So this was my first exposure to that. And yeah. Now let me see what other games are there in this series. After drinking some water. Alright. Let's see. Let me look up the Sengoku Basara series. Sengoku Basara. I want to see what this says. It's a series of video games developed and published by Capcom. Okay, does this have Capcom on the logo? It does have Capcom on the logo. It kind of blends in. Hold on, let me show you, because Capcom is like a yellow and blue logo, right where the character with yellow pants is. So it's kind of hard to see, but yeah, it's there. Okay. But yeah, well, let's see what the Wikipedia and the stuff has to say about this franchise. So it is a series of video games developed and published by Capcom and a bigger media franchise based on it, including 4 anime shows, an anime movie, live-action show, magazines, trading card games, and numerous drama series, light novels, manga, stage plays. Whoa! This is like a... It's like a franchise kind of franchise. Okay, so it's been around since the PS2, and it's pretty much on like everything, except for like the brand new ones. First release was the original Sengoku Basara, Devil Kings. Okay. Huh. Alright. Look at that. Yeah, so this is Sengoku Basara 3, the one that we're looking at. I mean, the one that I have. Yeah, is it 20 hacker slash action video game developed by published by Capcom. Is the third main installment of the Sengoku Basara game series, and the second game in the series to release worldwide. It was released on PlayStation 3 and Wii on July. Oh, there's a Wii version of this. I was not aware. Okay. Well, cool. 3 Utage. What was that? This is a Japanese only release of that. Let's see. Best-selling Sengoku Basara game, bringing the total sales to 2.1 million. The game was re-released as the best label, blah, 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 with the PS version top selling. With the highest debut for a Sengoku Basara game so far. The game sold blah blah blah. So what's this Utage version that they're talking about? Okay. Ah, okay. So there's like it's like an expansion with more playable characters. So characters with an asterisk are playable on that other thing. Wait. Okay. Oh, let me actually read this instead of just like skimming over it. Characters marked with an asterisk are unplayable NPCs. Unplayable, non-playable characters. You could have just said NPCs. You didn't need to add this, Wikipedia. Okay, except for Takeda Shingen, who was only in cutscenes in the original game that have become playable in its expansion, Sengoku Basara 3 Utage. Bold denotes starter characters in the main game and samurai heroes. Matsunaga Hishade did appear in Sengoku Basara 2 Heroes as an NPC, but makes his first playable appearance in Sengoku Basara 3 Utage. Okay, so I guess these are all the characters in the first game. The second game had like almost half the amount of characters as the first game. That's kind of weird. And then here's the... So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters are only available in this expansion. Like, do any of them look cool? Okay, well, this is giving me articles to their like historical figures rather than the actual characters in the game, but well, at least that explains that this is basically Fate, but set exclusively in Japan. Is that what's going on? Okay. So I guess I did not realize I had such an inferior version of the game that has like half the cast caught off. I really do not know any of this thing. I mean, okay, hold on. Well, obviously there's a princess. Sengoku period female warrior. Yeah, I do not know any of these like historical figures. I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, I know Nobunaga. Everybody knows Nobunaga, but like besides Nobunaga, I do not recognize any of these. Which, I mean, again, I'm not Japanese. I wasn't born in Japan. I've never lived in Japan. And I don't really make a habit of looking up the Japanese history. So, whatever. But there's definitely a franchise here. I guess I'll look into it further at a later point in time to see which games will actually be worth checking out besides just the third. Because it feels weird to start with the third game and then not go into any others, knowing that this is such a big franchise now. Like this is reminding me a lot of Prince of Persia last week, where we just went down a rabbit hole finding out how many freaking games there were in here. But it's mainly just an action hack and slash fighting beat 'em up. Basically, these are very action-based games. Not many puzzling or... Even though there's trading card games in here, they're like, what's up with that? Alright, whatever. Got a bunch of mobile games too, of course. Can't be like a big Japanese franchise if it doesn't have a bunch of mobile games tied into it. But now I know. Not only do I only have one game in a much bigger franchise, it's also the inferior version of that specific game. But the other version is Japan only, so there's not really much I can do about that. So we're just going to mark that as some... I did play a little bit of it. Again, besides the demo, I did start the game myself and played like a couple of levels. And it's fun. But you know, I think it had a much bigger impact on me the first time because that was back when I was brand new to the Musou genre. Now I'm much more familiar with the Musou games, and I mean, I'm not saying this is bad, it's just maybe a little bit lacking compared to what I would hope in other things. Alright. Progress now, we're just gonna put it as a... In a bit it was... Well, I already typed was fun in a previous thing, so we just put... It's alright. Alright, no score yet. Okay, here, I'll take out the unplayed and just put it as unfinished. Add that. And I'm out of my current water bottle, so let me get a new one. Alright. I'm all freaking out. No, it's not. It's just giving you that look. I'm giving you that look, ladies and gentlemen. I know you haven't been very say-so lately. Okay. Oh, there it is. Took a minute to load. Okay. I'm sure I actually did add it. Okay, I did add it. Alright, cool. We're actually going by this a little bit quicker than last time. Which I am A-okay with. The Resident Evil live stream does not start still for another half hour. Give or take. It's currently 4:32. Around like 4:55 is when we can start wrapping up this section of the stream and just move on to that. Let's go ahead and open the picture album, and we are now going into the next one. Aha, the Sly collection, Sly Cooper Discussion, and that's the Legend of Spyro Dawn of the Dragon. It's the Russian version of the game, and it actually comes in English and Russian. There are two language options, and the standard language option is actually in English, not Russian. So it was cheaper. It was cheaper getting this version than like the regular version, so that's why I got that one. But yeah, it was just the Sly collection. I really like this, by the way. I did not. Well, I did play Sly, not Sly, Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank back on the PS2. I never played the Sly Cooper games on PS2. I had to wait until this collection came out for me to actually play them, and I loved it. Oh my god, the Sly games are so good. So good. As I've mentioned before, Sucker Punch makes nothing but absolute bangers. They do not make bad games over that company. But let's go ahead and get started. So Sly Cooper. Let me see if I can write this correctly without even looking it up. The Thievius. I think that's how you type that. But let's double check. Ha! Thievius. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna like copy paste that real quick, just to make sure that I did type it correctly. Okay, I think I added one letter too many down here, but it is a very weird title. But anyway, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. That is the first game in the franchise, and it's the most platformer-like Sly Cooper game from what I've seen, because from the second game onwards, kind of like how Jack and Daxter switched the formula a little bit, Sly Cooper switched the formula a little bit. But the first game is also a lot shorter, so that's why I've played it multiple times. Played like at least twice, maybe 3 times. As opposed to the other Sly games, I've only played them once because they're a lot longer. Except 4, I haven't played 4 yet. That one's gonna be a fun experience on the first time, because from what I've seen of that game, looks very beefy. There's a lot of stuff to do in that game. From what I've seen, I don't actually know. Maybe it just looks beefy, but it's not actually that beefy. Who knows? Probably a lot of people know. I'll know eventually. Let's see. That is part of the Sly collection. The Sly. Not Coil. I can't type today. What am I saying today? I can never type. You give me a keyboard and tell me to write like 4 sentences, it's gonna take me 5 hours. I'm such a bad typer. Alright. Okay, this originally came out on the PlayStation 2. And I was actually doing some RPCS3 compatibility testing the other day, and apparently this Sly Cooper game, the first one, the European version specifically, is playable on RPCS3, and that's the only Sly Cooper game that is under the playable status. All the other ones are in-game, or they're listed as in-game on RPCS3. So I definitely want to play these games, but I might be willing to be a little bit patient to see if some progress is made on making these games more compatible before I just jump in. Now again, I have the collection right here. I just showed it to you. It is physically part of my collection. I could just start playing these games directly from the PS3, as I will have to with some games anyways. But I mean, if we can make it a little bit more interesting, we might as well, you know. If I can record anything from PC instead of on console, I will try to do it like that. This is just so much more comfortable, so much easier to do it like that. Oh man, I hate having to do console recording. It's so weird. Okay, but I did definitely complete it. I completed all 3 games actually. It took a lot longer to do the second and third game, but I did complete them as well. I also got the Platinum Trophy. I'm not going to check right now. And, let's see. What can I say about this over here, like in the progress note? Yeah, I 100%ed this game. Like, there's a funny story about this one because I 100%ed it the first time just on my own, playing the game by myself on my own time. I actually played the entire trilogy in a row, like all in 1 week or like 2 weeks when I first got it, and I had a lot of fun with him. But by the third game, I was definitely getting burnt out on Sly. I was having fun with it. I very much enjoyed it, but I was also like, okay, I want to move on to something else now. Which is why this the God of War marathon that I'm doing right now is a little bit of an experiment, because I want to see if I'm able to tolerate like the same gameplay formula for a long time before I get tired of it. You know, the important thing to keep in mind is that I'm not playing the God of War games multiple hours every single day, like 4 to 5 hours a day. I'm playing them 2 hours, 2-ish hours, once or twice a week. That's much more manageable, and I'm also breaking it up with, you know, Jersey Devil and this kinds of streams and other things. So I feel like by doing that, I can tolerate a certain, you know, the same gameplay formula for a lot longer. I'm hoping, at least. But if I still get burned out, then I'll have to reevaluate how I approach marathons, because we are playing 6 games with the God of War marathon. And I mean, that one's pretty big. But, you know, that's because the God of War games are generally much shorter. These games, again, besides the first game, they're not that short. And the same can be said about a lot of other things. Jak and Daxter, way longer. Ratchet and Clank, way longer. I'm not doing JRPG marathons. I'm not that fucking insane. Jesus Christ. Alright. Is it a 5 out of 5? Is Sly Cooper the Thievius Recon? It's definitely at least a 4 out of 4. We're gonna do the same thing we did with Jak. I'm gonna give it a out of the 2 scores that I want to give it, I'm gonna give it the lower one. And when we revisit it, I will let you know if it should stay here or if it should go higher. I have confidence that this game might actually go higher, because I really like Sly games. But let's go ahead and add to that. Now, Sly 2. Band of Thieves. That's the one that seems to be the most popular. Yo-ho, you're still live. I ran some errands, but I'm back home. Great. You're joining us right as we are, or rejoining us as we're talking about the Sly franchise. Sly Cooper franchise, I mean. But yes, Sly 2 is, from what I've seen, the most popular Sly game. That's the one that people mostly talked about. Most people like this one better than the other ones. For me, I like it. I really like Sly 2, but I think I like the third game better. And again, I'll have to revisit it to give you a more thorough opinion of it. But I do really appreciate that the first game is such a straightforward platforming adventure, whereas this game is trying to do like the whole open world and also platformer thing that like Jak and Daxter, the Jak 2 tried to do, but they did it differently. It's a very different game from Jak 2. It's just some comparisons that can be made here. So I'll give you a more thorough opinion once we get to that. I want to try a Coop Slider game myself, but I'm not sure what I'd get out of it. Fun. I mean, if you're trying to do it from like a let's learn how this game handles so and so and see if we can like get a new perspective on stuff. The most interesting thing that the Sly Cooper series does is that it combines platformer with stealth. These are, if we're gonna classify them under specific genre, it is a stealth platformer, which is not something you see done well often. In fact, like the only game that I would say would also fall under that category and does like an alright job at it is nothing. I can't think of any other franchise that so consistently tries to mix both of those mechanics and does a good job at it. There's platformers that have stealth sections. Usually they're not good. And there's like action stealth games like Mark of the Ninja. But those are just like more traditional stealth games. There's not enough platforming in them, I would say, to classify them as stealth platformers. But you know, like again, so yeah, the stealth section in the Hat in Time was a good example. What other franchises would you say? Yeah, it's a close parallel. Yeah, there's really not much that you can truly compare Sly Cooper to, and there haven't been attempts at copying the Sly Cooper. There's actually an interesting thing about the PlayStation what's the name of it? Like the PlayStation platformers. There's really not that many games out there trying to mimic the formula, or if there are any, they're not doing a good job at it. So, for example, Jak and Daxter, the only game that I can think of that tries to copy the Jak and Daxter formula is like Skylar and Plux. That's like an indie 3D platformer, and it kind of looks like Jak and Daxter. You can see the inspirations, but it's still like original enough to just be like its own thing. Ratchet and Clank, I think there was this one like Rufus something another game, and like that was a bad game from what I hear. So like nothing substantial has copied the Ratchet and Clank formula. Sly Cooper, completely original. I don't believe anybody else has tried to do what Sly did. Ape Escape, okay. I have seen games that have capturing mechanics. But even then, I still would think that if you want an Ape Escape experience, the only game to go for is Ape Escape. There's not really a good alternative to the Ape Escape formula. You know, unless you count like you just want to capture monsters or creatures and you like play Pokemon. That's a different story. Well, that's a different gameplay formula. And like what else? And you know, I'll admit there's nothing really too awfully unique about some of the Sony 3D platformer franchises. Besides Crash Bandicoot, maybe, because Crash Bandicoot's like hallway design is not replicated too much. And then Spyro was just like a 3D collectathon. It's a very good 3D collectathon, but it's not really a unique experience. Isn't Boxanax reminiscent of Apescape? Well, yes. I guess you could compare Boxanax to Apescape, but the gameplay formula, Boxanax is not a 3D platformer. Boxanax is a first-person exploration capturing game. It's a good one. It's a really good one, but it's not a. It doesn't really want to be an Apescape clone. It just has some similarities. It's been almost 1 full year since I started A Hat in Time. I need to make a room for a Dead Witch livestream this year. Hey, well, there you go. That's some plans. Anyways, Sly 2. It's fun. It's a pretty good game. Again, I do feel like it's not as good as people make it out to be, but I do like it, and I did complete it, and I am looking forward to playing it again eventually. It is also way longer than the first game. And that did catch me by surprise. I was expecting to be done with Sly 2 like 2 to 3 times during my playthrough until I finally actually finished it. Yeah, but at the very least I know I'm in for some good music and sweet animated cutscenes with some of the Sly Cooper games. Yeah, the Sly Cooper games art style. Oh man, the art style of this game is beautiful. It's got such a good combination of like. It's a very good usage of 3D to replicate cartoons. Like the characters just look so good, and the environments look really good. Okay, in the first game there are some some things that could definitely look a little bit better. But yeah, the art style of the Sly Cooper games is probably one of my favorite amongst platforming franchises. I'm not saying that Ratchet and Clank or Jak and Daxter look bad. No, they look great as well. But Sly is just so unique looking that you can't go wrong with it. The character designs and just all of that is it's so good, so good. Oh my god, play it. Yeah, just do yourself a play the Sly Cooper games. They're excellent. And then Sly 3, I would say, I want to say it is my favorite. Again, it's been a minute since I actually played this game, so I have to revisit them and really give you a more rejuvenated opinion. Is that really the right word I want to use here? I'm not sure, but Honor Among Thieves. Not to be confused with Among Thieves, because that's Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2's subtitle is Among Thieves. Sly has Honor Among Thieves. So, that's the main... Let me double check that I'm not losing my freaking mind here. Well, that's really hard to read, but yes, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. Oh, and yeah, I noticed that some of these games have like this 3D compatible thing. Yeah, there were like a couple of games during the PS3 era. There's so many weird things about the PS3 era, now that I think about it. That, you know, like Sony was really pushing for like 3D TVs. And, yeah, like some games just have 3D functions for some reason. If you want to, you know, if you want to take a look at it, you can, but for the most part, it's just, I've never even looked at it. I've never even looked through a Sony 3D TV to see how it really operates. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's just not, it's just not attractive to me. Just like how the 3DS, people weren't really using the 3DS's 3D features. They just wanted the games, so they made the 2DS. You know, that was just a whole thing. Hey, Grave Robert Monkulus, how are you doing? What's going on here? We are talking about games and putting them into Backloggery. And in about a couple of minutes, we're actually going to switch over to the Resident Evil showcase that they're going to be doing today. In about 10 minutes. So, we'll be doing a live reaction to that. I'm going to do some more discussions, because I just really like doing discussions. I doubt this is in your collection, but I finally remember, like, the number one Sony exclusive games I always wanted to play was Mega Man Powered Up for one. I know that game. I don't have it, but yeah, it's like a remake of the first Mega Man game made for PSP with like a very cutesy art style. Yeah. Yes, there is in fact a PlayStation Portable emulator. PP. Instead of PSP, it's PPSSPP. That's the PSP emulator. So you can, I think, actually RetroArch has PPSSPP on it, so you can just download it from there, and then find the game on. If you need a link, I can hook you up. But you know, I was gonna miss that, but I forgot about the time zones. Yeah, no, it's gonna be at 4 p.m. your time if you're in CST. But yes, Sly Collection, System PlayStation 2. Yeah, Sly 3 is probably my favorite of the Ratchet and Clank series, of the Sly Cooper series. I've said so much Ratchet and Clank today, because we were talking about those games earlier, that yes, you're in citrus time zone. Yes, of course. I am in Eclair time zone. You're in citrus time zone. Some people are in papaya time zone. You know, all of the good stuff. Okay, completed. Best Sly. I will say this Sly Cooper games, Sly 3, has the best final level in a Sly Cooper franchise, and one of the best final platforming challenges that I have ever played on a 3D platformer. The final level of Sly 3 is so good at testing each and every single skill that you learn throughout this game. It is chef's kiss. Second time I say that in the stream. Phenomenal. It is so good. So good. And obviously, you shouldn't just play that level, you should build up to that level. And like, I think just for that level alone is why I like this game better than all the other games. Still, like, it's so good. It's so freaking good. I love that level so much. It's got the perfect amount of challenge to be, like, you know, challenging, and it really forces you to use all of your skills while not being frustrating. It doesn't cross that line into you just being into you just making me suffer. It does not cross that line. And I guess we can go ahead and finish it with the last Sly Cooper game that I have in here, and the last Sly Cooper game, period. Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. This one's the one I haven't played. And it was not made by Sucker Punch. It is the only Sly Cooper that was not made. It was made by Sansero Games, I believe, which is the studio that made the Sly HD remaster. So, you know, because they worked so closely with the games in order to, you know, bring them up to HD. And this is a really well made collection, by the way. The Sly collection is very well made. All the games look way better, and they play fantastic. There's not like the Ratchet and Clank games that had a little bit of an issue. No, this game is just a really good remaster. Yeah, and Sansero Games went ahead and made the fourth game in the franchise, and I think the game did get a little bit of hate for that because people weren't a fan of a new developer coming in. You know, after the initial criticisms of, oh, it's not Sucker Punch, that was gonna suck. After that wore off, we're like, oh, wait, this game's good. It's really good. So, I'm looking forward to it. Very excited. I have seen, again, I've played a little bit of it, and not enough to really classify it as not unplayed, but it looks very good. It feels to play fantastic. The feeling of playing it is very good. The what am I looking for? And the main gimmick of this game is all because it's Thieves in Time. There's time traveling mechanics, and the way they do that is just they make the levels more interesting, and they introduce some of the other Cooper family members as playable characters, which is that's just cool. If you know the Sly Cooper franchise, you know that the Sly's family is has been a family of famous thieves for years and generations. So to actually get to use some of those other characters, that's just a really neat idea. So very excited for this one. This is definitely one of the games that I've had in my collection that I've been meaning to play for a very long time, and I'm very much looking forward to it. And it's one of the exam-style levels. I find out where it's at. I was just reflecting earlier today about how badly Super Mario Sunshine tests your skills by giving you a silly mud boat to use for 70% of level. Yeah, that's not good. Ape Escape does a pretty good job with this too. Like, the final level on the Ape Escape games is usually like a pretty lengthy good test of your skill. The Spyro games do a pretty good job at it. Ratchet and Clank, yeah. Ratchet and Clank 1 in particular, I feel like does the best job at a final level. Yes. Anyways, that is the Sly Cooper series. Let's look at the backlog. It is now 36 games total. Look at all the PlayStation 3 games we have. It's pretty cool. And it is almost 5 p.m. So let's go ahead and just switch over to the game window. Resident Evil. Okay. So, not from IGN, not from GameSpot, there we go. Alright, cool. So again, we are now in the in the... can I? Well, yes, I can make this full screen, but I probably shouldn't. Maybe I can just make the window a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So let's browser. Let's like... No, that's not the right button. Hold on. Is it not Alt? Yes, it is Alt. Alright. Actually, let's go ahead and switch to this one. Yeah, that way we can get something a little bit nicer looking. And like that. Like that. And we're gonna make that bigger. Like about that big. And put it right there. And that's where we gotta also make the chat box a little bit smaller. Let's see it from 600 to 400 in width. Now the chat box has been reset. I am reset. Everything works. Okay, cool. Actually, I think maybe I could crop this a little bit more. I got 16 seconds. Hold on, shit. Wait, fuck, hold on. Like that. And like, make it a little bit bigger again. No, wait, fuck, no, shit, what, game? Wait, no, stop, I'm not ready. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what we got over here. Let me... No, I want to shut this down. Wait, crap, no, I want to destroy... Hi, chat, that's what I meant to do. Resident Evil Showcase, let's go, let's see.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today and welcome to our Resident Evil Showcase. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, here to give you a closer look into what Capcom has coming up for the Resident Evil franchise. We'll be kicking things off with some brand new content and an exclusive first look at Resident Evil Village gameplay.
I need to change my my stream title.
So without further ado, let's get started.
I think that's how you do it. No.
Hey now, think positively.
Excellent.
Right?
I know how to use Nightbot.
We talked about this.
I know. We hardly talk about anything else.
I don't know if they dropped any more trailers besides this one. Castle Bells herald danger. There's been a lot of speculation about this being like a Resident Evil 4 remake-ish, or at least very heavily inspired by Resident Evil 4. So we'll see how that goes.
I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg.
So we got Ethan again.
He's in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle. When I find him... No, Mother Miranda. Yes, of course, I understand the importance of the ceremony. I won't let you down.
The only name you need to keep in mind is Ethan. Is the protagonist of Resident Evil 7. I don't know any of these people. Don't worry.
Please tell me, what the hell is going on here?
We're in the same boat here.
The place is full of nothing but blood and death.
Well, that's just Resident Evil, mate. So we got cultists. I can definitely feel the Resident Evil 4 vibes. There's a tall vampire lady that the internet is just losing their shit over. Anybody who doesn't know the memes, you might be better off not knowing it. What? That's a baby.
Well, Ethan Winters. There you are.
So basically the internet is horny for like all of the enemies in this game instead of all the vampire ladies in this game instead of being scared of them, which is...
Who the fuck are you?
What? Hey!
Let's see what you're really made of.
What the fuck?
Ethan Winters.
That's just a Bloodborne character. Who the fuck was... I just look like Dante. Was that Dante? Like from Devil May Cry?
That was amazing, but I still have so many questions. Like, when can I pre-order this thing?
No, not that.
Producer Pete Fabiano has some answers for us. Let's see what he has to say.
Pete Fabiano, that's the producer? Huh. So it's not entirely Japanese.
Hey everyone, I'm Pete Fabiano, producer on Resident Evil Village.
Hey Pete.
We first announced Resident Evil Village back in June. We only mentioned PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC. I'm happy to announce we've been working hard to bring the survival horror experience onto current generation consoles as well.
Cool, I guess,
Resident
but
Evil
I'm
Village
still
will also be
gonna
coming to
just...
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, day and date with next gen.
I'm still just gonna get it on PC or on new consoles.
The digital PS5 version. And the Xbox One version gives you free access to the game on Xbox Series X through Smart Delivery.
What the hell is Smart
It's
Delivery?
also my pleasure to tell you exactly when you can get your hands on the game.
Okay.
Resident Evil Village will be available
May 7th.
worldwide on May 7th, 2021, with pre-orders kicking
Oh,
off
that's pretty cool.
today.
I mean, it's coming out this year, so that's
Alongside
nice.
the standard edition, we have a few other options.
Oh, here's...
First,
oh, here's the...
Visiting the Lucky
Here's the Jim
available
Sterling
all
bit.
packs.
Hold on.
Players will be able to heighten their survival horror experience. with
Deluxe
extra
edition
content,
trauma
including in-game
pack.
items that call back to Resident Evil 7
Sick.
Biohazard. There's also a
Collectors...
edition
Oh,
console.
boy. Here's
All
the
deluxe edition
50
content,
million
as well as a
different
striking tribute to
editions
Chris
with
Redfield.
collectors and the
Steelbook
gold
case,
and the
poster,
ultimate and the
and
ultimate after the
And for those of you
ultimate.
who haven't played the previous entry, we have the Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 7 Biohazard bundle. This lets
Okay,
you get
yes.
your hands on the award-winning RE7
Cool.
while you wait for Resident Evil Village. Pre-order any
What
of
the
these
fu-
editions, and you'll be able to get your hands on both the Mr. Raccoon weapon accessory.
We were just
and the
talking about
survival
Sly
resource
Cooper.
pack,
Here's the
which will offer
raccoon.
Additional support during the first few hours of gameplay.
Alright.
Finally, digital pre-orders from the PlayStation
Only for
Store will
PlayStation.
receive an exclusive Resident Evil Village mini soundtrack.
Okay.
All right, I've been waiting for this.
So
and
here's all
you've
the
been waiting for
extra
this.
money you
It's
can
time
give
for
us
the
for
world premiere first
props.
look at Resident Evil Village gameplay.
Okay, that's
Alongside
what I'm
this
here
look,
for.
we have Pete
Show me how it
Fabiano
plays.
to offer some insights as well.
You
Let's take a
mistook that
look.
for a Crash Bandicoot amiibo. Crash Bandicoot Smash confirmed.
Now we're here to
It's
give
got
you
its own
the
amiibo,
first
for
look
God's sake.
At Resident Evil Village gameplay.
Okay.
Just like in Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, you'll be taking control of Ethan Winters.
Okay.
You'll make your way from the village to the castle. Players will need to get in and search for their kidnapped daughter. As you've
Okay, so
noticed
he
by
does
now,
have a daughter now.
Resident Evil Village keeps the first-person perspective.
I noticed.
We think it really draws players into the detailed world we've created.
Alright, sure. I'll give you that. Wouldn't that be something if Nintendo slipped in a Smash reveal in another publisher's trailer? That's just... That's so out of left field that I feel Nintendo would actually pull that off. I mean, they kind of did that with the Joker reveal. They just...
You'll see a lot of those.
You
little
wouldn't
details
expect
come to
that, and
life.
then it just came out of nowhere. Okay.
The team put a ton of effort into creating a truly authentic feel.
It's immersive.
From art design to technology, everything ties in great and creates some beautiful visuals.
I mean, yes, it does look very good, but YouTube compression is gonna do a number in this one.
Now it's time to meet some of the castle denizens. As you'd expect, a warm welcome's not really what's in store for Ethan.
Is this the actual frame rate of the game? I'm
And blood.
I'm gonna assume it runs at 60 on PC and maybe on new consoles, but maybe at 30 on the older consoles.
Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters.
Yeah, nobody's gonna be running away from these people. It's gonna be horny for them.
Let's see how special you are.
Okay.
Shifting gears a bit, we're finally going to show off some combat.
Okay. No, it's very... Obviously,
not
it's a
just
slow
about
enemy.
shooting. Guarding will also be an important part of the game.
What are you guarding? No, okay. Do we have like hand-to-hand combat a little bit?
Each type of enemy has their own distinct way of fighting, so you'll need to change up your strategy.
That's a big
to defeat
dude.
them.
Are you sure this isn't like a first-person Bloodborne?
Everyone knows what to do with red barrels, right?
Well, first of all, shoot it properly, not
Some of you will
miss.
remember a similar management system in Resident Evil 4. This time around, we've added crafting, which allows you to create items such as first aid and ammo.
You already had that in 7.
There's
Sort of
also
rifle.
an assortment of weapons to find and utilize throughout the game.
Okay.
I've been waiting for you, Mr.
What in?
Winters.
That's a big
You
dude.
know my name.
Is that?
Anyone has heard of the likes of you.
The
that the
makes a
merchant?
return. This time he's known as the Duke.
Okay, well, it's not the same merchant, but it is
You'll be
a
going to him to buy and
merchant.
sell weapons, amongst other things.
Well, cool. We got a merchant again. It's
The director wanted to give him a unique look, and you'll often find him in different situations each time you encounter him.
very unique he is,
He's an
for
interesting
sure.
fella.
So it's a very different kind of character. that is just big chunkus turned into a character.
Smash away
It's a
with
big
your
boy.
trusty knife. There's plenty of items to find in your travels.
That river of blood? Probably.
Wait, do you hear that? And we've also got extra objectives outside of the main ones.
But why would you shoot it if
Of
you
course,
can
it
just
goes
stab
without
it?
saying that there'll be plenty of puzzles to solve for players to move forward.
As you would expect from a Resident. Oh Jesus!
Plenty of surprises to keep you on your toes.
Are those locusts? Or what are those? Are they bees? What the fuck? Jesus! This isn't Bioshock.
I haven't cut open a man in a while.
Ethan's
Let me string you
Ethan's
up.
like
Your jugular
resistance to
and just
pain is
grab.
ridiculous. That man can take so much.
Well, that's one way to end the video.
We're not done, are we?
Now that we've shown you what's in store
Okay,
for
that's a
Resident Evil
gameplay
Village,
video.
let's take a look at the exclusive PlayStation 5 demo.
Ah, well, here's a demo for that console nobody can get a hold of. Maiden. Alright. Let me know if he randomly eats his own fingers and we'll have a bona fide JoJo reference in our
Players
hands.
won't be playing as Ethan, but as a character we're referring to as the Maiden. Unlike the actual game, this experience doesn't feature combat or even blocking.
So it's just an exploration bit? Maiden end of 2021. Well, actually, it will be 2022 because they always release a game for the next year rather than the current year.
We're hoping to have players get a real feel for the visuals and audio as they take the Maiden on her journey to find a way out of the castle. And you can download the exclusive demo on PlayStation 5 today.
Okay.
Of course.
So like the
want as
6
many
people
as
that
possible
actually own a
to
PlayStation 5 can get
So
to
we'll
play
have a
this right
separate
now.
New demo.
Awesome
available on all
for them.
platforms, ready for sometime this spring.
This year marks the 25th anniversary of the Resident Evil franchise, with the very first game releasing in Japan back on March 22nd,
Yes, it did.
1996. Since then, the
Got
series
4
has
different
expanded
versions.
well beyond the realm of
And
video
then
games.
they got a remake.
From toys and board
And that is on
games to CG
everything.
movies to live-action Hollywood films, Resident Evil has become a cultural icon. Resident Evil continues to offer surprises around every corner, so let's pass it along to producer Tsuyoshi Kanda to hear more about what you can expect in 2021.
This is what I'm more interested in. They were announcing
Earlier this
other
month,
things.
We started inviting players to join a closed beta test.
But they didn't announce
The test
what it
won't
was.
happen until later next week.
Okay.
But I want to use this chance to reveal more details. With the 25th anniversary of Resident Evil coming on March 22nd, we are excited to celebrate this milestone with our fans. Last September, we showed off a piece of key art showcasing some of Resident Evil's iconic characters to start the celebration.
Okay.
Now, I'm happy to announce what was behind that. Let's take a look.
World premiere. Exclusive. This looks... What is this art style? It's like trying... It doesn't have reverse Resident Evil. Capcom, the last time you did this was Operation Raccoon City. You know how that turned out. This frame rate is atrocious. I don't care.
One of the ways we're celebrating the 25th anniversary of the franchise.
I really don't care about that.
So many of the characters that fans love. It'll be available for free to anyone who purchases Resident Evil Village. So be sure to follow the Resident Evil social channels for the latest news. And check out the official website for even more details.
You know, for anyone who has not played Resident Evil 7, they're probably so confused as to why there's just like a dad-looking character in there. And I'm so happy about that.
The Resident Evil team on their 25th anniversary.
We can't
Ubisoft.
wait
To get our hands on our reverse.
Oh, Ubisoft made this.
Celebration to our game, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. For a limited time, you will be able to collect some of the iconic outfits and items from the original Resident Evil trilogy. Everyone that logs in during the event will get Leon Kennedy's Raccoon Police Department outfit as a warm-up. Now let's have a look at some of these.
This is now this is just a commercial now. Did you really make a trailer for some costumes? Okay, listen. The RPD uniform is not unique enough. It's not distinct enough to make me want to buy it. You put like a shrimp costume in there, something silly. Yeah. I will not be able to differentiate the RPD uniform from like a basic uniform everybody else has. Do you have anything else? Oh yeah, there's a CG animated film coming out. I kind of want to watch that actually.
時間軸はバイオハザード4の後の、数年後のお話となっておりまして、レオンがスーツ姿でとある場所でゾンビ事件に巻き込まれます。この作品はですね、Netflix にて全世界、配信になりますので皆さんお楽しみください。
Okay, cool.
Wow, a lot's been happening, and I hope you enjoyed
I've
watching.
only enjoyed one of the
If you
things.
missed anything along the way, don't worry. Keep an eye on the Resident Evil social channels and official website, which will be sharing everything from today's show. As a quick reminder, Resident Evil Village is available for pre-order starting today. For the PlayStation
Pay us your
5,
money
PlayStation
today,
4,
please.
Xbox Series X,
That's the
Xbox
that's
One,
the.
and Steam for PC. And don't forget,
It sounds so
PlayStation 5
it really
owners
does.
get a sneak
It's
peek
like
through downloadable content
I'm not reading off of a script. I'm being very excited about
It's
this.
been an absolute honor to celebrate the amazing Resident Evil leading up to its 25th anniversary with all of you across the globe. I'm your host, Brittany Brombacher, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time.
I mean, cool? Maybe? Pre-order today, but they really, as you would expect from a AAA studio, they want you to pre-order that shit ASAP. Get your money right freaking now. And then, in a bit, release the product. Okay, so Resident Evil Village looks good. So it's a continuation of the Resident Evil 7 formula. But the Resident Evil 7 characters, quick before the Japanese fiscal year expires. But the rest of the stuff that they announced was very disappointing. Okay, Reverse looks boring. Resident Evil Reverse looks very boring. It looks like slightly better Operation Raccoon City. That's not saying much. Operation Raccoon City was a dumpster fire. Being better than that is not a compliment. That's not an improvement. It looks like a Counter-Strike with modded Resident Evil 2. And yeah, also the other thing, the Division 2 costumes, like what? Like, does anyone still even play the Division 2? Like, doesn't Ubisoft just like ditch all of their games after a year? They're going to release a new Tom Clancy game again. They release like 4 of them every year, and they're going to want you to move on to those. So why are they doing anything? No, it was too divisive. Yes, that's exactly what the problem with that was. Alright, well, I mean, I guess we're pretty much done here too. Like, what else can we really do? I guess I can make this window a little bit bigger. Hold on. Alright. And like a little bit bigger this way. Okay. Cool. Guess we're done with that for today. I don't know, I feel like Capcom owes me something. Well, okay, maybe right. You know what? No. It's my fault for getting too excited for just one trailer. That's on me. Again, so Village looks good. Village looks fun. And it was fun to actually do a live reaction though. The stream was fine. It's just our stream was fine. Their stream was don't go to their stream. Go to Hollow Bastion stream. That's what you really gotta go for. That's what I'm trying to say here. Alright, but anyways, I did nonetheless enjoy doing this little diversion today of doing 2 streams in the afternoon. And here it's a double-edged sword, because throughout the entire stream today we were hovering on less viewers, like half of the viewers that I normally get at nighttime. If I see any creepy vampire woman in the next week, I'll know why. Yep, that's how you know. And yeah, I got like less viewers. We were hovering like between 3 to 4 viewers. Actually, no, 1 to 4 viewers. Pretty much in both streams, in the Jersey Devil stream and the Backloggery stream. As opposed to when I stream at nighttime, when I get more viewers. But the other thing to keep in mind is that I'm able to be much more energetic at this time of the day because I'm alone. And it's, you know, it's not late at night, so I'm not as tired, and there's not people trying to sleep, so I can speak louder. As opposed to, you know, right now. And, yeah, so like, technically, here's the dilemma. I can make better content at this time, but I get more viewers at the other time. I guess the best maneuver is to try to do a little bit of both. You should branch out to some European subreddits. Is there like a specific European VTuber subreddit? That's what I got. Not the virtual YouTubers, but the virtual VTubers. Oh, I'm a virtual VTuber. Why? That's what I gotta go for then. Yeah, I was kind of trying to do this as an appeal for like the European gang, but there's not too many people in the EU right now. And the other thing to keep in mind is that, you know, America right now is like at work, or they're at school, and, you know, like in college, or they're having to do after school homework. They're driving back home from these places. So I understand why there's also less viewers at this time. So maybe we can make this, you know, we can do streams at this time every once in a while, but I shouldn't rely exclusively on like afternoon streams, especially because I can't stream out the afternoon every day. I can only do this on my days off. Otherwise, I'm probably streaming at nighttime. Okay, PS1 Pals would make a good subreddit name. You know what? That's actually pretty good. I wonder if there's something like that. Now that said, this Saturday I do have to work, but like late at night, and I don't start until almost nighttime. So maybe we'll do another afternoon stream on Saturday. Otherwise, I'm thinking the next time we stream is gonna be... We might actually be able to stream tomorrow again, because I am off tomorrow. But maybe we'll do just like an average night stream. We did our... I do like that we did 2 streams today. That was my favorite part. So maybe we can save the this kind of like variety streams for this time window, like 3, like the afternoon, early evening, and then the main, like the marathon stuff, like God of War and anything like that. That we can save for nighttime when we get more viewers. Yeah, and somehow I was here for both of them. Yeah, that's... I appreciate that, by the way. But yeah. Alright. Well, that's pretty much all I really wanted to do today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. We will continue with God of War next time, which again will hopefully be tomorrow. If I have any change of plans, I'll let you all know. Otherwise, yeah. So, hope you have a good rest of your day, rest of your week if you can't make it to any more streams, and I'll see you guys around. Bye bye.